So yeah, this.
Well, I mean, when you get it out of the package, it's just water.
Right.
Until you put some oxy in there, Mike.
You put oxy in this?
Yo, dude. Who's got your back? Dude. Yo. Yo, man.
Yo, what's up? Yo, Hoagie Time. What's happening? We're live. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Hoagie Time. We are in our new studio here in deep Delco. Look at it, huh? This is beautiful. We got our logo back here. It's Hoagie Time every time. So big shout out to Precision Builders, Dave McElroy, Springfield, PA, for these new microphones. How about that, man? He wanted to hear us loud and clear. So he donated, and we thank him as our sponsor. And if you guys have any home repairs you need done, give Dave a call at Precision Builders.
And ladies, if you have any bachelorette parties coming up, Dave does full contact specials.
Absolutely.
So inquire within. You can hit us up at Hoagietimepodcast at gmail.com. Any questions, any ideas, or to book Dave for your bachelorette party, ladies.
What's up, pal? How was the weekend?
Dude, the weekend was good, man. A couple gigs. I was at the Fainting Goat in Glen Olden on Friday.
Good
a lot
spot.
of fun, dude. There was a group of older people there, like elderly.
Yeah.
And like 2 or 3 songs in, they got up to start to line dance in front.
That's actually that place. Fainting Goat goes back to. You remember when we were kids, Sam's Saloon?
Yeah.
Like yes, those
Lisa worked there.
Yes.
Shout out Lisa.
Yeah, Lisa Spicer worked there, and that was always known as a place where old people can get up and like dance. So maybe it's just like something about the place where you might be infringing on their territory.
Possibly.
That's always like an old person spot to dance.
There's something very like cute and innocent about the old people just getting up before anyone's even drunk just to do their little outdated dances.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm up there like,
yeah, it goes not. It's not going with What I Got by Sublime. Right?
Exactly. All I need is for people to walk in and be like, oh, this guy does a line dance type act.
Or like somebody's looking to like book you for like a big like party and they're seeing what the hell's this stuff going
Dude, they
on?
were nimble though. The one Nana, I'm not exaggerating it at all. Dude, she dropped it down to the floor.
No
like
shit.
Just straight squat.
Really?
Yeah.
My mom's a great dancer.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll bring in some video.
I never saw her dance, but I mean, I believe in her. I believe she can do anything she wants to.
Yeah, exactly. She's a really good dancer. She can drop it.
Really?
Yeah. I've seen it at weddings.
Yeah. I mean, these blue hairs were getting the fucking eagle on, dude. It was crazy. And then Saturday I did a private, and it's private, so I'm not going to discuss it.
Good. Yeah.
If you weren't part of the people that were smart enough to bring me in for a private event, then, now, I have nothing to say to you about it.
If you guys want them for a private, you can have that experience, but don't expect to hear anything about it.
Exactly.
I respect that, man.
And then Sunday, NFL Week 1, right? Big football day.
Yeah.
I went to Citizens Bank Park with the boy.
Because you're
Phil's action, dude.
Because you're a good father.
Yeah, Phil's action.
Rain out, right? Or did they play eventually?
Rain out, but we got a few good innings in.
Oh, cool.
Before the rain delay, and then, which was awesome.
Yeah.
We were all in the concourse. It was pouring. We had nice rain jackets on too. Yo, no big deal. I had a Patagonia on. They're not cheap. I mean, it's not a big deal, but this is a really good rain jacket that I had on. Right. And my son was similarly outfitted. I mean, we're dressed to kill at all times. But it started raining so hard that everybody went up to the concourse.
Yeah.
And they put the Eagles game on the Citizens Bank Park Fanavision live, and everyone was cheering on the Birds from the concourse at the Phils game. And
full
it was
crowd
just
for the Phils?
Awesome.
I mean, they're in a playoff race.
Dude, fun enough to be fun.
Yeah.
But it was definitely like, what's today? It was
Something's
also
up.
September 11th. There was a great 9/11 tribute as well before the game. And I had to explain to Junior about 9/11. He's like, what's all this September 11th stuff?
That's wild.
And I didn't even know how to approach it. I'm like, well... 21 years ago, Michael, some terrorists. He's like, what are terrorists?
Oh,
like,
God.
well, they hate our way of life. Dude, I was trying to be as gentle as possible about it and not be gory or not be sad.
Yeah.
But he starts like choking up right away. And I'm like, dude, like, I don't know how else to explain this, but some bad people did a bad thing. But we rose from the ashes and we got them. See those men in uniform out in that outfield because they had like Philadelphia Fire and police in their dress blues. See those type of men? They ran towards the danger and they saved people like us. So give it up for them, and we're like clapping. They did Star Spangled Banner. I'm getting choked up. Remembering
Dude, I got
that day.
choked up by you just saying
Oh
it
my
like
God,
that.
I'm a compelling
like a little
storyteller.
boy, but like it brought me right back.
I'm
to
a really
that moment.
you know how
You're a
gifted I am
gifted
at storytelling. Yeah. But dude, it was great, and then we got the seats were good enough because hey, I mean whatever, you know you already know what it is. But we were close enough where like again, like you see a sports game that close, you really get a respect for how fast they're running, how hard the ball's being thrown, whatever. It did rain delay in like the second inning, third inning. But by that point, you know, we had already gotten a good time in, and it was like the first time I took my boy to something where like, if the weather cooperated, I know that he would have been able to hang in all game. Where before he could barely get it. So like that was kind of a cool milestone.
That's awesome. That's
man,
great,
it was fun.
Yeah. 9/11.
So 9/11.
That's why. Yeah, my 9/11. Remember the song I wrote about 9/11?
On piano.
Yeah, it was on piano, and then I transposed it to guitar, and it was an open E tuning. It was about the story. It's unfinished, like most of them, but it was a story about a couple that meets, and their wedding day is planned. Their wedding day was planned for October in 2001.
That's pretty specific.
Yeah, and it's from the perspective of the wife, you know, being sad and being like, you know, we were about to get married, but now, you know, I live in fear you're not here. Then the last verse, this is where like it's touching. It's 20 years later, and she remarries.
Foreshadowing, it's called.
Yeah, and she remarries to it, and she has 3 kids, husband she loves, and all that. But she's writing the ending verse to it, like he's not you. The
twist is, interestingly enough, she marries Muhammad Atta's nephew, and it's a crazy twist in the Sixth Sense style.
Well, that's the 4th verse now. But the 3rd verse was about how like it's almost like she wakes up in the middle of the night. It's a lot like Castaway, the ending scene in Castaway with Tom Hanks. Yeah, how like she like wakes up from a nightmare, goes down into like the kitchen. Her husband and her kids are sleeping up there, but she writes a little thing like, you know, like this is supposed to be us, but 9/11.
All right, now that my boner's killed. I know. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. But yeah, I mean, what a milestone. That was 21 years ago.
I thought, and it's kind of sad that I felt this, but I felt this a little bit last year. Not really last year because it was the 20th year, but this year, almost like it's something that happened in the past. Like where every other year it was like still so fresh. The news stations, you know, your NBCs, ABCs, they did a good job of like keeping on there. But I think everybody now, I don't know if it's like a byproduct of cutting cable. A lot of people don't do the NBC and ABC, so it wasn't a part of everyone's life. Like with the cutting of cable, you only watch the TV show you want to at that time. There's no kind of like streamlining. There's no commercials.
You tune into the message that you want to get.
Exactly, and that's with Twitter too. So like now, the 10 years after, it was like absolutely. You turn on, you know, just NBC, and there's some tribute. There's an awesome thing going on. I felt. I'll be honest. I didn't see or hear anything about it at all yesterday, and it kind of made me sad. You know, because something that, you know, such a big moment in our lives.
Yeah,
I felt like it's distant. And it was the first year I felt that. And I felt it going to that, but then the 20th year happened, and I was like, all right, I got my fill. I watched a bunch of stuff. I did a patriotic cry. I felt good. Nothing. Other than, you know, I knew it was 9/11, but there's nothing popped into my life about it because everything's so streamlined now.
Yeah.
So, and then it kind of bummed me out.
Yeah.
And it's only going to get further and further, you know.
At the Phillies game during the pregame ceremony, which was awesome and like super touching and all that, what I was thinking was, one of the points was like, there's always a silver lining in things and whatever. Like, there's nothing great about that day. But I remember, like, Phillies game on Sunday, like, there was just like, oh, this is what it felt like for everyone to be on the same team for once. Because we're so divided now. And I mean, of course, everyone talks about this constantly. Like, this isn't like an angle no one's ever talked about. Far from it. But, like, looking around, it was like, everyone was just like American that day. And especially how divided everyone is now, that it was just like, oh, yeah. I do remember that was kind of cool how everybody felt like we were all on the same team.
Right.
We've come so far from that.
So far from that. I remember.
I explore those topics lyrically.
Yeah, you always do. But I also remember feeling like not being, you know, Bush wasn't very popular, but I remember when he threw that strike at that first baseball game with the Mets, and he had the jacket on, and he threw a fucking 70-mile-an-hour strike down, and it made I know it made me feel like, oh my God, this is like America. Look, our president just threw a strike down the middle. The whole place went up, like, and people, even if they hated Bush, they respected it. He was still our president, you know, and he handled that great. I thought, like, you know, and I wasn't the biggest fan of him then, but as a president, our president. He stood in there and was like he was our symbol, and he was cool for that.
Yeah, dude, I was a Gore guy, and I was real. I'm still think it's bullshit. The Chads in 2000 with the Supreme Court and whatever. However, so I never fully accepted him. But when he's standing in the rubble going, and we're going to get the people, we're going to knock down their, whatever he said, I was like, that's my president. Yeah. That's right, W. Let's go get them. I was on board at that point.
Yeah. And it's just sad. But yeah, to feel that, like, I know that feeling is only going to get more and more, like, it's kind of, it's like life back to normal kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
I saw some other cool videos where it was like different countries around the world in solidarity with the United States. Like there was a video I remember, and it's Queen Elizabeth. Shout out Queen Elizabeth. Rest in peace.
Yeah, what happened with her?
But she had directed the royal band for the first time in the 200-year history of this band.
Yeah,
they played the Star Spangled Banner. It was like the royal, the royal band. It was Switchfoot. But for the first time in like 200 years, she directed them. She had them play a different country's anthem outside of a state visit. So it's not like our president was there.
Yeah.
They just, it was like September 13th, 2001.
Yeah.
They played the Star Spangled Banner, and there's a whole bunch of Brits waving American flags and crying and shit. And like they were all with us too.
Yeah, dude.
That was wild.
Yeah.
And Queen Elizabeth just passed.
Yeah, I saw that. She, how I feel, that with the troubles, I'm still not over the troubles in Northern Ireland.
Dude, I'd love to hear it actually, because there's
I feel
people on either side. I know Ireland's upset.
Yeah.
You're a history guy.
Yeah.
I never really looked into it so hard where I have that much of an opinion, but like, was it just like sometime back in time, like they just decided they're the king family? They're the royalty.
It goes back.
They're not elected, right? Like so.
No. It actually goes back. They're actually.
I think that's kind of lame. That
they
doesn't
have German heritage. Actually, they go back to like Belgium and like Holland and all that. Like they're not
Shut up, Belgium and Holland.
Yeah, they're not English. They came like something in 1700s or 16, sometime around there. The Belgian family married in, and then they came over to England. So their ethnic line goes back that way. But they're just. I'm sure she's a nice lady, but how do you do? There's atrocities on her hands too, but over time, you try to do the right thing. So she's all right in my book, I guess.
So the American dream is almost like fuck that royal line. Like it's like the antithesis, right?
Yeah.
I'm not a big nepotism guy. Yeah. No one from Collingdale is, but like. I'm very much like you should be elected or whatever, and like for them just to have assumed the title, I think I have to look more into.
To their credit, they have tried to they've given a lot back, and they do a lot with charity, and it's more of a symbol now. They have given away the wealth and all that, but what they did to Ireland, I just won't. I will not. Those wounds are deep, and I will not sit here and praise the Queen.
Yeah, so don't expect a tribute to the Queen on Hoagie Time.
We're
going to move right along, actually.
I had gigs last week, and where the fuck was I? I had a private at Stevens on
Enough
State.
said.
Yeah,
Talk to me off camera about it.
Off camera about it. So it's private. Then I did a birthday party for a buddy of mine. Your brother DJ'd. Shout out to DJ Tom Figs. That was cool. Then yesterday I was at Tavola. It was really cool. It was post Eagles game, so it was dead for about a set, and then a bunch of people showed up.
A bunch of people that should have went home 2 hours ago, but they're riding high from the week one win.
Exactly.
DUI all around town.
So as soon as they were out, I was like, oh, thank God. But this weekend coming up, I got a couple of good ones. I got Friday. I'm in the Workhorse Brewery in King of Prussia. Yeah, Workhorse Brewery, King of Prussia, 6 to 9.
Sexy time frame.
And I have a wedding Friday at the ballroom at the Benz. So I'm also available for cocktail hours for weddings. But and then Sunday I'm in a Gypsy Saloon in Conshohocken, 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. Dude, it's the best brunch gig out there right now. Like I show up at 11, I'm like, who could be out right now? By 11:30, every hot chick who lives in Manayunk, Conshohocken, like post 30, like 35 to 50, is there drinking these big orange mimosa, like towers, and they're all hot, dude. They're all, and you can see they went out the night before, but they're all meeting with their 4 girlfriends, and I'm like, man, this is the spot. This is the place to be.
Talking about their rides from the night before.
Yeah, exactly. You could tell, like, you know,
broken pelvises.
Yeah, some of them got
stories.
Some of them got beat up. Some of them are walking like their backs got blown out a little bit, but they're all just house and mimosa, and I'm watching them and playing the
obviously a jazz brunch.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a jazz brunch you're doing,
I'm
right?
in the background. I'm just watching, you know, and I'm just playing the hits. So, yeah, that's this week coming up. Anything this week?
Yeah, I've got a couple things. Friday, I'm going to be in Westchester at Barnaby's, which is awesome. Love playing there. I'm there from 5 to 8 on Friday. Saturday, I just looked to what I was doing. I don't think I'm doing anything Saturday. I have to look now. Sunday, I know that I'm doing the 25th anniversary at Barnaby's in Havertown.
Oh, cool.
That's going to be awesome. I'm going to be there from 1 to 4. Rob Carroll may or may not be coming through, still trying to figure that out. But that's going to be a lot of fun. The 25th anniversary, Barnaby's, Havertown, Westchester, and Aston maybe. But there's 3 different locations that are having the party.
All together, yeah.
Yeah.
Barnaby's a good spot, man. You know, I've had some good times there over the last 25 years.
I have no official gig on Saturday. I just looked.
Good.
I might see my boy. Shout out Tom Trison. I might see my boy Tom Trison at his. He's doing a Catalina wine mixer type party.
Really?
Yeah. It sounds interesting enough.
No, I want to cancel my gig. Tommy, how are you, pal? HT O'Hagan, everybody.
Hey.
Doing good, guys. How you doing?
Good. Anything new in your life? You had the golf outing last weekend.
Oh, yeah, it was great. We had 120 people show up in
the B team?
Avondale, and the B team was out there too. Yeah,
cool. Nice. Shout out to the guys.
Yeah, it was a good time. A lot of people gave a lot of money for the firehouse, and
Nice.
I truly appreciate all the people. We had over 100 whole sponsors, so I'm not even going to try to even go down that list.
Yeah.
You know,
How'd you golf?
I didn't golf. I had to organize it. Andy McEwen and Michael Boyle. It's just too much to us to try to go golf as well. You know.
Shout out Andy McEwen. I know him from McCosey.
Shout out first responders everywhere too. Yeah. We don't have a camera on Tom, but for those that aren't here that can't see Tom's completely nude right now.
Yeah.
He's got a silky ponytail going right down to the small of his back. He's got cocoa butter on and a brand new Mickey Mouse tattoo on his left breast.
It's a beautiful man.
Beautiful man. Wise too.
So if you guys are wondering, we did film an episode last week. Through the paces, so we have a video. We're not going to release it. We may release it eventually. We'll talk about it. We just want to say, everyone's safe.
Everyone's
but there is an episode, and we're going to call it the lost episode. And if it comes into the world anytime in the next month or two, hey.
I would call it. We were testing out this iteration of our new studio, and we had some technical issues along the way, so it's not a usable episode. That's the best way to describe it.
The boys were very excited.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. It was Labor Day. But your producer dropped the ball on a few things, and we're going to try to salvage something, but we might have a couple clips here and there, but I don't think it's we'll leave it at that.
We live to fight another day, so it's great to be here again.
I don't know how this is going to look on camera, but I'm definitely just getting another beer.
Every time you do that, I'm going to leave my head back. Just put my head on top of yours. Oh, that's the greatest.
Love this new space. No problems with our original studio. No problems at all. Loved it. It was cozy. It was exactly who.
It was exactly what how we should have birthed it.
Yes.
It was. I think we can announce it now that we're going for it. It was at my place. It was in Glen Olden, Delco. So it was very cozy. It was very warm, but we outgrew it. And with all your help, we have some sponsorship and all our producers, HT's hard work, we were able to kind of grow. And now we're on to bigger and better things here.
Yeah. Love this new location. Great energy, lots of fun. And shout out to Jay Barr on the graphic back here. Shout out to HT on the rest of the decor. What a talented man he is, and so tasteful.
Yes, sir.
But we want to thank you guys for all your support. Again, we've got Hoagietimepodcast at gmail.com that you can hit us up with any sponsorship ideas or any ideas for skits or guests. We're going to have some more guests coming up real soon now that everyone's
musically,
home.
right? We're going to go in a musical direction too. We're going to start having musicians on and talk to them and incorporate, us playing with them and maybe kind of recording a few songs for Patreon. So as you see us in our guests in the future, we're going to take a little turn towards our music. But
we're still figuring that out. I think the idea is to have a conversation, of course, like always, and then maybe sit down and play some music as well and figure out the best way to do that to capture the best sound quality, etc. Figure out the best way to communicate that to you guys.
Now, did you see any of those fights this weekend?
Yeah.
What a shit show, man. The guy who comes in overweight, then they totally fight like different people. Like, man, that had to be a nightmare for like the Dana White of the world. Like all those pay-per-view buys, and then you're going to just switch it, switch the card.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It became more exciting. The matchups became better matchups.
I would say,
more entertaining matchups.
Either way, Kamzat would have killed Diaz. Killed him. Did you see how bad? I mean, Diaz and they're legends, but how bad of a fight it was. They were so tired. They were like taking breaks during the middle. I'm like, neither of them were at the top form. Yeah. And Kamzat just came out and just ragged that dude around for 2 straight minutes. It was like just spun him around like on the ground.
4th fight he's had where he hasn't been touched at all. And I don't know if it's the last 4 fights in a row, but it's like 4 fights that hasn't been touched at all out of like 11. So I haven't seen stats like that since you back at St. Joe's.
Well, no. yeah. Well, no, it's Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns and him had a great fight.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, so that was one in between. It was consecutive, but he's had 4. Yeah, but Gilbert Burns.
That was a great fight.
After watching this fight, I don't know how Gilbert Burns did it. Like Kamzat is such a force. Like that dude Burns has got to be like the toughest dude in the world.
Yeah.
How do you even come close to like fighting and almost winning against that guy? But it's kind of unfair, If you're naturally 200 pounds, you should go down to 190. But to go down to 170 and beat up little guys, like, I don't know. It just seems like there should be some type of thing with weight cuts where you can't go super down because he'll just start. And that's what it was. Turned out he could have got down to 170, but the doctor is like, no, like we're not letting you do this anymore.
Casual 20-pound weight losses.
The doctor's like, no, you probably could, but I'm not going to let you. And then when that couldn't happen, they had to make the switch. And then that guy, Holland, God bless him, man.
Come on, Doc, don't be a nerd.
Yeah, exactly. But
let my boy go.
But they almost die. They sit there and almost die for weight loss, and then they go and fight. But it was just,
It was great shit talking.
How do you
technical fighting aside, the shit talking unbelievable. Nate Diaz is the king.
He's the king of shit talk, yeah. And he's always just so tough. Like he's so brave. Like he's ready to fight anybody at any time. He's a real one. Yeah.
CTE hard.
Big time. He, like all the like dead skin, his face that's just ready to bleed.
That was warfare.
But even Holland talking shit and starting fights backstage, like with a guy that comes out, the first time I would see him, I'd be like, fuck.
Yeah.
But Holland even's like, nah, dude, come on, pussy. Like they all think they're going to win.
Yeah.
So like their mindset is just so like, I guess to be an athlete at that level, you have to have like such a belief in yourself.
And we're not talking about swimming either. Like a fighter.
Yes.
Like it's one thing to be tough, but like it's another thing to be like, I'm the toughest dude in like half of America,
and the belief
and I'm going to
yourself.
fight the toughest dude from Sweden by way of Chechnya. Like,
yeah, as soon as you say Chechnya to me, I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm out, dude. I don't know what they do in those mountains, but I'm out. That's why I don't. I'm not in the UFC anymore. Too many Chechnyans.
Yeah, Mike, your ideological differences just couldn't be ironed out.
Well, I just fight people from the royal family.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. I saw something today or on Twitter with the King Charles.
King Charles III.
Third, yeah, but Elizabeth's son. The dude, his aide or whatever, didn't like move this thing on his table enough. So he gives a look like, get the fuck like
dick.
Dude, like a dick, like a scary dick. So like you think he's an 80, probably 75 years old. Yeah, like he's like, and mean to his counts or whatever the hell they call him over there. Like this guy, like get it on it. And he makes a face with his teeth like, behind closed doors, he's a motherfucker.
Because you're the descendant of someone a few generations ago that decided they were in charge.
Yeah, like, a pedophile. Probably.
Dude, grub it. No, thank you. Yeah, I'm not down with that. Official stance, I'm not down with that.
Yeah, that's why I kind of like the one son who's like, fuck that, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm giving up all the, he gave up the money and all that. Well, I'm sure he got a nice little allowance.
Yeah.
But still, like, who wants
to move to Alden, I think.
Yeah, he lives right behind Bernie's Pretzels. He did 3 tours. Yeah.
Whoa.
So he was about it, he wasn't just some and even the brother was too, right? Yeah, if he was in.
Some undercover news feed found Harry in the middle of Afghanistan, like with his whole platoon, and they begged them. It's like, please keep this secret. Please keep this secret. This is a military operation, and they did for like a few weeks.
Yeah,
and then finally, like, they found out. Like I guess the editor found out. It's like, no, this is going out now. This is big news. But by the time that happened, they got him out because they didn't want the Taliban just coming down and getting him, attacking a base for no reason because for the possible Prince of England being there. Mm-hmm. So they pulled him. But yeah, he did 3 tours.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, William, I think, was a helicopter pilot, but I think he was a rescue pilot, like
gotcha.
in England itself. Like,
so he had a little bit of a shell. You see him at like Wimbledon and shit, like with his hot ass wife, Kate, and the kids, but you can just tell they're playing like the whole royal thing up.
Those tennis tickets must be too thin. It's like
it's absolutely
exotic fashion show almost.
Yeah, just last week there was the U.S. Open, and that's just like a who's who of like Jay-Z, Beyonce will be there, all that stuff. I think it just ended. Maybe it's still going on, but I know
even if I had a hot single on the radio, I don't think I could go watch tennis.
I love tennis, dude. I was an all-Catholic tennis player. Yeah.
All-Catholic tennis player, right?
Yeah, tennis, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Tennis is big. Tennis is a great sport. Great sport. Especially with the last 20 years, the influx of athleticism, like the Roger Federer, Djokovic. Like you see the tennis players nowadays, they're 6'6", and they're the fastest, strongest guys in each country. In America, our best athletes go to basketball. LeBron James, name 5 of them. In other countries, they play tennis, soccer, and sports like that. So if LeBron James was born in France or Spain or something like that, very good chance like he'd be Rafa Nadal or Roger Federer.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
could you imagine that,
dude? Him on the court, with that
360
training,
backhand,
dude. That's why there's a couple players down in Australia that are 6'7", 6'9". They're all just giants now. It's a really good sport.
And TV doesn't do it justice. That's the problem.
Yeah, the speed and the power.
You just go. It's the speed, like you just said, is amazing. When you see even a 20th ranked player hit a serve, it only went 125 miles an hour, where Nadal was 140.
Yeah, 140 is
what?
Whatever. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I have to see it live then.
Yeah, it's just not that popular.
Take me to a game, Mike.
Match.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. We grew up across from the Collingdale courts, the Joe Barkley courts. So we go into Bonner and AP, like my sister, brother. We were the only ones with like tennis background. So we could like that. They gave us all Catholic because we were the only ones that played. we were the guys on the team, and I did pretty good my senior year.
Everyone else is like, I'll try tennis. I don't know.
Well, when I played my senior year, like you weren't beating St. Joe's Prep or LaSalle because they had Jewish kids, and Jewish kids
right contract.
No. They grew up in country clubs and stuff, so they played tennis since they were kids, so they would just smoke you. Uh-huh. But like if I could beat O'Hara and Carroll that year, then those are the guys that I like wanted to beat. Because they're just regular kids from Delco.
Well, I played lacrosse for Bonner, like everyone is well aware of.
Oh yeah,
and like with that was a lot of us picking up lacrosse sticks for the first time ever.
Yeah,
just like whatever, like let's just catch dips after school. It was mostly about catching dips.
Yeah, right.
For me at least.
I've never played lacrosse, and that's it was always during tennis season. But it seems like
really?
It's a spring sport. But watching it seems cool. But like catching it, and that little ball would drop out the little.
Yeah, I never quite got the hang of it.
Yeah, dude, I don't think so. My sister was a good lacrosse player.
I could pack a dip though that would make your head spin.
I dipped. Dipping was like a rite of passage going to our high school, Monsignor Bonner, and freshman year, football was in the fall, like the summer. So as an 8th grader, It was a really good way to, I would suggest anybody with a kid that's in 8th grade going to a new high school in 9th, play the fall sport, because whether it's soccer or football, you're meeting kids in the summer. So that first day at school, we already know us come from Collingdale, Bonner had kids, Drexel Hill, Havertown, all that. You know people already that you weren't, friends with, at your grade school. So I don't know where I was going with that, but
yeah, when we played lacrosse, a lot of us were picking up the sticks for the first time, and just like in tennis, like LaSalle, these were like 7-year-old kids, coming from money. Like they heard of lacrosse before. Like we hadn't heard of lacrosse.
That's what I meant by Jewish. I meant money.
Yeah, I mean, not to generalize. Shout out Jewish everywhere. Shout out Israel. But yeah, dude, like there was teams that had like the kids had been playing lacrosse since they were like 5 or 6. Yeah, and this was 1957, I think, when I was playing lacrosse, and it was
exactly that was 20 years ago when you were playing. 25 years ago. Oh, geez.
Whoa, I know.
Yeah. Now lacrosse is the football, because now the CTE stuff with the better athletes, the guys that used to be the star running backs, star receiver, quarterback, they're playing lacrosse now. That's their main sport. So if you go around to like Springfield, Ridley High School, Haverford Episcopal, the good schools.
I'll be cruising all those schools when the weather gets warmer.
Absolutely. Lacrosse is at the highest level now. So it's where everybody's kind of playing the best athletes around here. And let's be honest, it's still a sport where white guys can get scholarships to college.
Mike.
Yeah.
I got scholarships playing basketball to every D1 school.
Whoa, I did not know this. Really?
So the whites did this and the Jews did that.
Oh, man. But yeah, so shout out to lacrosse, but it's a great
thanks for making this an easy edit this week for me.
No, it's where it's intent. That's what, my theory with racism. If anybody knows me or knows anything, it's the way. Is it in your heart? No, it's not. It's not. Do you explain things, not correct sometimes? Yes, but I have no ill will in my heart.
No. Everyone knows money, Mike. Mm-hmm. But yeah, dude, when we played lacrosse, it was a new sport, but it was a lot about catching dips too. I must be honest.
That's what I was getting at with with the summer football as a freshman coming in. A lot of the kids were dipping and shit like that. So first week to school as a freshman, we was getting a trolley. I put a dip in to look cool, like walking to school. I swallowed it, puked all over getting out of the trolley. So morning. It's like 7:45 in the morning. We're like running up getting off the trolley. So everyone's there. Prendy girls, Bonner guys, Upper Darby people walking by. All of Lansdowne Avenue and Garrett Road. Yeah. So that was it for me. Maybe we did it once or twice more, but
I mean, I just can't imagine how young everyone looked catching smokes at like 14 years old at the trolley stop. Have you seen a 14-year-old kid lately? They look like they're 9.
That's what you're saying with when I almost got raped. Have I seen a 17-year-old in a while? Like they are young.
Yeah,
14's even younger. They're babies.
And we were catching smokes, dude. We were smoking a pack a day.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because I started like having a smoke every once in a while in like 7th, 8th grade. In 7th, 8th grade. Sorry. 7th, 8th grade. I'm smoking in Westmont Park, and I take one. And dude,
we did look awesome.
It was
though,
the
smoking.
Best high too, man.
We looked awesome smoking.
That first buzz, and you got oh my god, and you look like it was Newports too. It was like back Newports were my first, and
sure enough.
And that's what 7th, 8th grade's like 13 or whatever. I'm 40 years old, and that's what I'm kind of proud of is that I've never became a real smoker. Even still, like I come every once in a while have them, and I can have a smoke every once in a while. But that's one thing that never caught on. Everything else did. Believe me, I've been to rehab for everything else, but cigarettes, I got control over you.
Yeah, dude, I didn't. I was in deep a couple times.
That's funny.
So, guys, to circle back real quick, I'm just you were talking about the Queen and how they were German ancestors,
right?
I didn't know this, but King George V replaced their name. He was King George of Saxe-Coburg-Gotha.
Yes.
Then he changed it to Windsor, so he wouldn't sound like what Germany was doing at the time.
Exactly. He wanted to sound more British. So that's pretty. Yeah, the whole thing's like like a big lie. They're not even British.
Dude, I'm not into this at all.
Yeah.
I got to read up on it more. I'm not into this at all.
Yeah.
Good riddance.
Yeah.
I'm on Marcy's side. I know Marcy's anti.
Yeah, God save the queen, God save the king. Like the older we get, the more we progress as human beings. Isn't that stuff just silly?
Yeah.
It should be like silly. I mean, I'm not going to get into a religion thing because, it's cool that it helps people. Like if that's somebody's guide to life, that's
Lay into
great.
the Jews a little bit more.
I think the Jews have it right. They have a lot of things right.
Yeah.
They figured out a lot. Like the Catholics, they're fucked, man. They need a big reformation. They need somebody to go like nail another thesis to a door somewhere and be like, yo, we're coming. We need to switch some shit up.
Or a tweet. Modern day, that's a tweet.
Yeah, or a tweet. Yeah. Modern day tweet. Let the women, let the priests marry. Let women do whatever they want, but...
Well, that would ruin the vibe, man.
Exactly.
Can't have any breeders coming in.
Yeah, exactly.
Throw the whole vibe off.
Oh, fuck.
Ruin the whole party.
Where are we going to go now?
Yeah.
Shit. But yeah, they had like a 4 hyphenated last name.
That's exotic.
Yeah.
That's what taught middle school.
But the one brother was hung with Trump, right? They would go like partying at that island.
Prince Andrew, maybe.
Yeah, Prince Andrew.
I know his name came up with the Epstein shit.
Yeah, they were.
I don't know who he is. And then it definitely was true because he just slithered out of sight as soon as they mentioned his name. Yeah, exactly. He didn't come out and say this is ridiculous.
He didn't.
He just slithered away.
Yeah, he's like it's so true that I have nothing to say. And even they just kind of banished him off to some cottage somewhere.
That's the play.
Oh,
and if you're ever confronted with it, you just don't even open your mouth.
That's such a different kind of wealth. Like there's rich and then there's wealth.
Yeah.
And they have like a different level of money to where they can do those things and even think that those things are. Who would want to go? I don't know. I mean, it's always been so easy for me to get pussy. Who would want to go to an island where they're all there to do with whatever you want it,
right.
Wouldn't you want to have a little personal connection and have that little, day where you're meeting each other and she's genuinely interested in you?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I love about the chase, watching them fall for me.
A personal connection.
Yeah.
So even if you weren't a perv, I'd be on that plane. I'd be like, so wait a minute.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not going to a resort. This is just your island. So where are we going to meet chicks? Oh, they're just all there already? Dude, what is this about?
Not right with that.
Is that fucking Bill Clinton up there? What is this, dude?
Something's not right
Andy
with that.
Dick, what the fuck?
Right away, I'd be like, get me out
Yeah,
of here. This
dude.
is not...
So are we hopping on a boat and going into town to check out the bars? No.
I believe...
This is just your fucking island, dude? Who are you?
I believe it's the equivalence of going to a strip club. You watch some guys, and I've gone to strip
But they
clubs.
weren't going just to throw change and call them ugly.
I got you, but you watch some guys, and I've gone to strip clubs with buddies. In my 20s, we used to go on Sunday nights after the games to Oasis down there, and it was our thing. And you watch some guys, they were so comfortable with come here, baby, and putting it right in their G's and right up close. And me, I always kind of felt nervous. I knew that they were not in. They're not into it like that. It's all work for them. It's not fun.
Yeah.
So I would be like, here's the dollar, and I didn't want to play that game. But other guys I'd watch smack the ass and shit. I'm like, dude,
I have no idea how to act at a strip club.
I'm nervous.
Do I act so ice cold and cool about it that I'm not showing that I'm appreciative of what they're doing, or do I get all fucking baby?
Those guys,
make it seem like I've never seen a chick before.
Those guys are serial killers. The guys that act like that at a strip club. If you act like that at a strip club, these they're pieces of shit, and you're and get physical and stuff like that, or you're grabbing her and tipping and hugging and stuff. There's something wrong with those people. Those are the people that are, closet gay or abusers.
Yeah, dude, I can never dial it in though. My level of interest, not too much, of course. Yeah. But then if you're completely shut it off, it's why are you even there?
Yeah.
Are you there to have fun? Or are you there to act like you see this every day?
I'm the
but
type,
how into I'm so overthinking it.
Yeah.
That I fucking swig 4 beers and then roll.
It's 100% the same with me. I overthink it to the point where I'm like, oh, come on, loosen up a little bit. And then you try, and then you realize there's this kid. Oh my god, that's someone's daughter. Not that I care about that aspect that much.
And then you find out the hard way there's no insertion.
Yeah, it's more okay, I look a little bit and I can tell life's tough and all that. And I kind of look at them. And then finally, I'm like, here's. I don't really. Yeah. Like, go ahead, baby. And then you just stick her in the side. Like others are like getting like, no, turn around, bend, and then he's sticking. I'm like, dude, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong?
Then
with
the
you,
other
dude?
extreme is, hey, I mean, you're dancing pretty well, but have you read any good books lately? Let's make a personal connection.
Yeah,
like that's
like my buddy.
That's
way. Like my buddy Doug Bernard. Like that's the dude from that movie.
Finch.
Yeah, Finch. Bernard,
Finch or whatever.
Doug Bernard was Finch. Like, have you ever any Voltaire? Hamlet? Or like, shut up, dude. Like, like they don't want to talk about that either. I just don't want to treat them like they're fucking like, roadkill.
Yeah. Well, I've never seen one smoke a cigarette before, but tell me, chess or backgammon? Be like, what, hun?
Hey.
We might come up with another place for the cooler next week, or we might not. We might not.
I think that's the place, Bang.
Intrusion of personal space. Love it.
So we got the Eagles season up. We have a big win. I watched a little bit. I'm not, not overly. I'm not the biggest fan anymore, but I'm a fan of football and the Eagles. Like, you don't go crazy for a sporting event anymore. It's just it's fun.
Yeah. The jerseys need to go too.
Yeah, I've never worn a jersey.
I've worn jerseys before, but I'm not like, I have worn jerseys before.
Actually, no, I have worn jerseys.
Not totally serious, like past the age of like 25. Once you're older than the guys on the field, you shouldn't be doing it.
Whenever I gain a super amount of weight and I'm at my heaviest, sometimes I'll wear jerseys because it's comfortable and it's like fat guy attire.
I like baseball. I do like baseball jerseys.
That's it. I had a Ryan Howard one, and that when I was pushing 3 bills way back, like when Ryan Howard was around 10 years ago, I had that, and that was a go-to because it made me feel okay. Nobody sees it.
Yeah,
nobody can tell.
No one's gonna find out. No one has any idea.
My buddy Dave McElroy, who was a Precision Builders, another shout out to our sponsor and our brand new microphones. He said when I was at my highest in weight, he's like, dude, and he told me this a couple years ago. He's like, dude, I never told you this. He's like, but you were playing down at McFadden's ballpark, and it was a bunch of dudes from my grade, shot out Bonner, 2000. He's like, you were playing down there, and I guess you got off the stage, and we had like a circle of like 4 guys talking. He's like, I didn't know it was you.
Oh my God.
Time. And he's like, we were talking for like 10, 15 minutes. He's like, I didn't even know it was you until you got back on stage and said that someone said that's Barkley. He's like, what? And me and Dave are boys, dude. We were like high school boys, like
president and vice president, right?
Yeah, dude.
On the same ticket.
Yeah.
And he didn't know it was you talking to you for 10 minutes?
10 minutes till I go back on stage. He's like, is that fucking Barkley? Dude, yeah, I had to be like, I was like, I've gone from like 311 to 220 in my adult life. And everywhere in between.
I've never hit 3. I got it to 290.
As soon as you hit 3, it's all mesh shorts and jerseys and baseball jerseys. You got no
smelly ass. You're not properly cleaning.
I grew my hair long, dude. I was just fucking massive, dude.
Stop giving a fuck. Shoulder length hair.
I was massive. Oh, dude. I remember specifically that timeline. My fast food order. You have a fast food order and what the price is around. It went to, and this was 10 years ago. It was about $16. Oh. So every time I went, my order was around $16. When things are normal, it should be around 11, 12 maybe.
But there's extra treats.
There's treats. There's 3 or 4 treats thrown in, like a Frosty, like another cheeseburger. So like I remember if I needed to have, if I went to get fast food or something like that, like at 20, and then I'd have like $3 or $4 left over.
Oh, yeah. So you're not just getting the meal that you're hungry for; you're also getting add-ons too.
Yeah, dude. And nothing went to waste.
Like a few sandwiches, like a soda and like a shake.
2 fries, the chicken sandwich, the burger, and then maybe like a side of nuggets, and then like a shake, and then a soda. And then, I would get Snyder's hard pretzels or something for after the meal,
just to wash it down
for after the meal. And then, always tea cooler or
what? They're fat free.
Tea cooler or like a fucking jug of Diet Coke. Like so much Diet Coke, dude.
I remember our boy Cooey. Shout out Cooey.
Oh,
he was
so
like,
funny.
he got big, and
Looks great now.
He looks great now, and yeah, totally. But like he was like, I knew something was up when my Burger King order, my Wendy's order got to 2 bags. He's like, or maybe it went to 3 bags. I don't know. Yeah. It was like when it went up in a bag.
It's a very good tell. Yep, very good.
To be able to, like, that's how he was measuring it. He's like, my order went up a bag.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I should have. There was so many things where I was like, peel back now, and I went to. Then once I hit there, then I went back, and then I got to a real low weight again, and then now I'm hovering around an okay one. Still need to lose a few, but I'm not there where it was.
Dude,
like,
the minute I get to a good weight, I'm like, I'm there.
Well, that's what too. Like, yeah, just a couple weeks ago, I felt good. Now I'm just kind of. But hey, man, we're human, and there's a lot of shit going on.
Why?
Tell me that it's human nature.
Yeah.
But hey, we're all going through something. So, hey, we just got to take it day by day and keep trying. But yeah, Dave Mack sees me. He's like, was that was fucking Barkley?
Dude, you must have been so big that your voice had to, like, he didn't, not your voice cadence or the sound of your voice tipped him off. It's probably like, it's probably like waking sleep apnea.
It's like a snort, like my breathe, like you couldn't.
Like you had a throat full of cranberry sauce trying to fucking
sweating
talk.
my balls off. Yeah, dude, sweating my balls off. I remember too, just sweating my balls off when I was fat like that, and it had to be summer. And I remember it was like Dave, a couple other buddies, maybe Buns.
I thought we booked the guy from the Loop. Who the fuck is this?
The dude in the Loop had a mohawk. It was cool as shit. This dude's fat as fuck. It's like, that's the same dude. It was like 2 years ago. What the fuck happened? But could you imagine that? And then, like, of course, it's funny, but like, then my crazy mind takes me to like what the conversation had to be like after he said that to the guys, and I'm back up on stage, and he's saying, everyone's like, yeah, dude, and all 4 of them are up there. I think they're being cool because I'm playing.
Did it ruin the rest of his day, do you think? Did he walk, oh, man.
He was probably.
Do I reach out to him once I sober up? Should I stop drinking now so I can reach out tonight?
He was all 4 of them were having like, yeah, dude, we don't know what the fuck happened. Everyone's trying to talk to him, but nothing works.
You didn't even remind him of Mike Barkley, where he would have been like, he reminds me of Barkley. Oh, it is Barkley. That didn't even cross his mind.
20 years hung out.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, in a conversation for 10 minutes. And he said, after I went back on stage, the only way he knew it was me is because I went up to the where the guitar was. And he's like, is that fucking Barkley? And they're like, yeah, dude, we don't know what the fuck happened.
Were you performing in blackface that day? That threw me off the one time you did that.
I had the Ryan Howard jersey, but I couldn't even button it. That's a dead tell, too, for me when I'm getting heavy. I can't button shit.
I bought
same fucking clothes, but can't button them.
I bought I don't know if I brought this up before, but I bought a Charlie Manuel jersey coming into the season.
So fucking.
So fucking what?
White trash.
Yeah, dude.
I've attacked the whites, the blacks, and the Jews tonight.
And the aged.
Yeah, and the aged too. Yeah.
So, like, I think those rules are different. Like, if I were to wear a like fucking Reese Hoskins jersey, that's weird. I think.
Yeah.
But like a Charlie Manuel, like he's the old manager, so it's different. He's an old man. It's not like I'm aspiring to be like, you're the best, Bryce. I love the way you throw the ball. It's fucking Chuck Manuel. I think it's understood that like I'm not.
I'll give you that.
I'm not.
I'll give it to
off to him. But I ordered this jersey, and I showed you guys the picture. But the new style of MLB jerseys this year, on a certain teams, dude, on certain teams. So on the back of this jersey, and fuck, I'll send you the picture to overlay. It's super unflattering, but I'll do it. I'll do it just to add some visuals to this. So on like the Mets jersey, the Phillies jerseys, a couple teams, like the pinstripes stop, and it's just white on the back of the jersey. Like, and the idea is the players tuck in. And like it's trying too hard to be authentic. They should know that these are just for fat guys. They just want to throw them on and drink beers at the stadium. So like I put this thing on and I hung it right up and put it away. I can't wear it. It looks like I'm wearing a diaper. Tom, we'll throw the picture up. I'm going to send you the picture. It's not flattering, but like you guys got to see it. I can't wear it. I can't wear it. It's that bad.
Of course you can't. Yeah. I mean, we don't have as adults, we don't have the body type to. Oh, you got to just, or why don't you just belt it? Jean and belt it.
Tuck it in.
Yeah,
classy.
Yes. Yeah, the Chuck manual, I'll give you that. And I honestly felt okay with the Howard one because he's an African American and I'm a white guy. So, like, see,
it's unity.
It's unity. Yeah. So I thought that was very fucking forward of myself too.
Yeah, you've always been at the forefront of that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, it doesn't mean shit to me.
Right.
Nothing to me.
You didn't even realize.
I didn't even realize
until many people brought it up.
Didn't even care.
Yeah.
Don't even care.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I would.
Yo, shout out Ryan Howard.
Yeah, big time.
Shout out Charlie Manuel.
Yeah, they just banned the shift, and he just tweeted like what his numbers would have been like.
Yeah, could you imagine?
Dude, he would have had absolutely Hall of Fame.
We should have him on to discuss that.
He's actually friends. He's friends with my buddy Chris Hop or girls from Prendy 99.
We're all friends with girls from Prendy.
But he used to hang out like my buddy Hop. He was at his house in media back like 15 years ago.
Really?
Yeah. He's friends with a couple Prendy 99 girls, Ryan Howard.
Let's make that happen, Ryan Howard.
Well, so we'll see if we can get him.
He was a Subway spokesman too, so that ties into Hoagies.
With Jared, the gay or not the gay, the pedophile.
Was he a gay pedophile?
No. Yes, I believe. Or was he with gays? Was he a pedophile with the gays or with the straights? Sure, absolutely.
All gays are not pedophiles, and all pedophiles are not gay. Let's just be clear.
Of course, yeah. But the way I said it at first it might have made people think that I thought that, which I don't.
Look, disclaimer: we're down with everybody. Yeah, and you could tell we are because I said we're down.
Down with OPP. So yeah, so his numbers would have been because he's borderline, not borderline. He probably is in the Hall of Fame because he only did it 5 years. Like he had an unbelievable 5 years, but then like bad. He would have been Hall of Fame. Because he would have had 8 incredible years, and that would have been enough.
Yeah, that was a fun ride.
Yeah, it really was, man. Okay. What's worse?
I don't know if you can rank them. Oh, let's try, though.
Yeah.
That's compelling content.
So, like, Dahmer is a pedophile, but he's a pedophile with the gays.
I don't think being a gay makes you a worse pedophile. I think you're already...
No, I think you're born like that. You're born like that, and you either engage in it, or you don't, and you're miserable like those people.
Become a priest,
or you can become a priest a lot of times.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I think that that's the way you feel, and that's what you're attracted to, and it's a choice you make. And I think they're born like that. They're absolutely born like that. And if you look at it that way, it's sad, But there's certain things that I like that I can't do.
Oh, really?
Oh, actually, no, I do everything I like, but. There are people out there that love ice cream and can't have it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Good analogy.
That love, people that give up eating meat and go vegetarian. Like some people go die hard and then they get sick and they can't, and then they don't do it anymore. It's got to be something like that because you can never enforce your will on somebody, a child or somebody that doesn't accept it. Like the stripper at the strip club. You can't, that's why
you can't throw change at children.
That proves I'm not a pedophile. The way I treat strippers.